ride him.
Oh man! All right, I've been waiting to talk to this guy, Greg Studrawa, one of my favorite guys, and you know, I remember talking to you last year in this circumstance, and I remember because we stood over there, and it was almost like there was this kind of like shell shock mentality going on for you at that time because of Steve having been diagnosed with his illness and you being promoted to offensive coordinator. And I remember just thinking, like, I was asking you questions that you couldn't possibly know the answer to. Is that fair?
It's exactly right. You read that pretty well because I was, and you try to, answer the questions the best I could, but I really didn't know the answer to them or how they were going to work out on my own, and you get a place like this and you get a chance to be the coordinator, you want to do it right. When it's 2 weeks before the season, there's not much of a chance to get down and get rolling. So you're right. You read that pretty well.
All right, so just before I talked to you, I talked to Frank Wilson. We talked about running backs and stuff, Now, I heard you say inside, the percentages maybe weren't what you like, 68-32. I like, see, I'm all right with running. Running's good. Remember we were kids and Woody Hayes who said something, or Bo Schembechler?
3 yards in a cloud of dust, right?
Or, 3 things can happen when you pass the ball and 2 of them are bad.
That's right. Bear Bryant or something, that's right.
Yeah. All right, we go back to last year. The last time I saw you play, you didn't score any points.
Yep.
That was hard.
Yep.
And you had to have brought some things out of that towards this year in terms of, all right, this won't happen again because.
Right.
So,
you're exactly right. Hell, I've watched that game 100 times and trying to take things, like you said, to learn what not to do and do, and we didn't execute at all. The hardest thing to figure out is, and look back at why the things we've been doing all year we didn't execute. I mean, some of our best running plays, some of those simple things. We had missed blocks and things like that. So you look back and you realize that, you got to execute at a high level all the time. And we were able to do it 13 games and weren't able to do it the 14th game. So you know what? You go back, you start doing it again and realize we got to execute our plays. Everybody's got to do their job all the time. There is no, break or no error. There's no room for that. You got to execute at a high level all the time. And that's what we took out of that game.
We're talking to the man they call Stud. He's the second-year offensive coordinator at LSU, but you've been here a lot longer than that. But what makes you a better second-year offensive coordinator than a first-year coordinator now?
Well, I think, been through it once with all the guys in the system, knowing what to expect, having a spring to prepare. That's the whole key. When you have a spring to prepare and see what the talents, like you said, what Zach can do, you can fit your system around it, see what Beckham can do and what those running backs can do. Now it's easy to fit in plays and put those guys in a position to have success, and that's what being an offensive coordinator is. Those guys got to go make the plays. Our job is to put them in the best position to make those plays, and having the spring, that was the ability to get a chance to do those things.
Deal. That should be really fun. I mean, I'm excited to watch it. I think fans will be excited. I know you got to be.
It's going to be a lot of fun again, I can tell you that.
Good deal. Thank you. We're back on Sports 225. I'm Lee Feinswog, and in this segment, we'll talk to some of my media buddies and find out what they think about this upcoming LSU football season. This is Brett Martell. He's the AP writer from New Orleans, the Associated Press, the windows to the world. That's big, isn't it?
Well, it's probably sounds more glamorous than it really is.
And what you don't know about him is since the last time I saw him, I want you to know that I followed him on Twitter, and I was his 1,000th Twitter follower. Remember that? Yeah. But his hair was a lot shorter now. You got the almost ponytail thing going on back there.
Almost. It's really my wife's project, and that was the goal. So
it's nice. LSU football. Would you give me an assessment of what you think will happen this season?
Well, I think that they have to be one of the top favorites to get back to the BCS title game. I thought it was interesting that I think Coach Miles made a comment about the kind of turmoil they had in the preseason last year and how he thinks they realized what it cost them. I wasn't really sure it cost them anything because they were 13-0 going into the final game and simply got outplayed. But they said a lot of interesting things about the ability of the quarterback to throw the ball downfield, particularly Studrawa talking about how the offensive coordinator talking about how the receivers run hard on the deep routes and don't give up on them because they know they've got a quarterback that'll get the ball there. And that's going to be a new dynamic for their offense and something that they were missing. If they had more balance against Alabama, they could have turned the tide of that game because it was close for the better part of 3 quarters. So I can't see, them not being a contender all the way through unless they just don't show up one day and blow it.
Most important thing I can tell you is if you have an iPhone, get the AP app so that you can read Brett's stories coming out of New Orleans. Thanks.
You got it. Anytime.
Randy Rosetta, formerly The Advocate, now with TigerSportsDigest.com. And he covers LSU. And I will ask you to give a quick synopsis of what you think this season will be.
I think this season has a chance to be better than last year. I'll save the ending. We'll wait on that a little bit. But I think regular season, I think LSU has a chance to, if not go undefeated, not lose more than one game. I think they're better at most positions, including a pretty key one at quarterback.
And, but the end of the season does matter when you're making these predictions.
I think they will go to the SEC championship game, win that, and play somebody like maybe a USC for the national championship again. I think they'll be better equipped for it. I think they'll be motivated after what happened last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're hanging up a new banner in this building.
Ooh. How about that from Randy Rosetta? William Weathers with Rivals.com. It says it right there. That's a pretty shirt, man.
Thank you, thank you. I got it at my Rivals Publishers Convention this year in Atlanta.
They gave it to you for free, I hope.
They did. It was a part of the sign-up.
Assess this LSU football season for me.
Well, favorable schedule, veteran team, great offensive line. Obviously, you want to see what Mettenberger does with live bullets. You know, I see an SEC championship and at least a national title game appearance in their future.
That's pretty. I mean, you just see it. You know, it's good. That's good.
I mean, they seem to have all the variables in place. Other than we've never seen a quarterback do it yet. Other than that, you have to feel pretty good about the defense. Everybody started at least a position once in a game except the quarterback. So I feel like they have they got a good balance. They got a good experience, and I think the biggest underlying thing would be their hunger, to redeem themselves with January 9th.
Rivals.com. You can check them out. William Weathers, thanks.
Thank you.
Jim Kleinpeter has covered LSU for a long, long time now. When did you first start?
Well, 1995.
1995 for the Picayune.
Back when you had hair.
How about this, the short hair look going on, you know? Yeah, and yours has stayed pretty dark, too.
Yes, that's right. I live a clean life. I have no fears and no worries. That's how I do it.
Yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, assess this LSU football season for me, would you?
Well, I see it as they're the favorite. I mean, I don't know if you can really say that about any other team in the country right now. They've got everything to go through this season and get back to Miami. They have every reason to want it, and they have the personnel to do it too. I think the biggest question mark is how will Zach Mettenberger react in a role that he hasn't been in ever. He's never been the starting quarterback on a college team, excluding the junior college. But that's, to me, if he can handle the pressure, if he can handle the crowds, if he can handle whatever adversity he gets, I don't see anybody stopping him.
Jim Kleinpeter, the Times-Picayune. You can read his stuff at NOLA.com. He tweets. He does video blogs. He does pretty much everything.
I do it all. Just like you used to.
It's a lot of media guys talking in this segment, but I like to get their analysis now and then. I'm Lee Feinswog. You're watching Sports 225. It's the first of our 2012-2013 season. We're at LSU Football Media Day. We get back more insightful interviews from out here at the LSU practice facility. All right, we're wrapping up here at LSU Football Media Day, and I see Taylor and Phil. They look like they're working really, really hard. Oh, no, they're breaking up. That's it. They're done. They're done, so we must be done.
We're done. We're out of here.
This has been really fun out here at LSU Football Media Day. It's fun to get the season back going again for us for Sports 225. Like I said at the start, 16 years of Sports Monday, now the second year of Sports 225. I want to thank Taylor Halsey for going out and doing interviews, Phil Roberts, who also does a lot of our Breck stuff for shooting, and John Christian Williams, who is holding that camera. You can't see him right now. In fact, you know what's so bad is that John knows, because he knows almost anything will happen in television with me. And just stay right there. You know, I know it's bogging down. He's looking at me. He's going, no, seriously, come on, seriously. There you go. That's the picture we'll show him. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on Sports 225.
At carnival time by Baton Rouge Bay, that's the site of my story. At Spanish Town Mardi Gras, things can get blurry. See the mowers marching, prizes fill the sky. This Spanish Town Mardi Gras, may it never die.